The Teacher. Chapter 1. The New Beginning. It was a bright morning in the small town of Willowbrook. The sun was shining. Birds were chirping and the excitement in the air was palpable. Today marked the beginning of a new school year, and for Miss Eliza Turner, it was more than just the start of another academic term. It was her first day as the new teacher at Willowbrook High School. She had recently graduated with top honors from university, and this was her first teaching job. Eliza had always dreamed of becoming a teacher. She had grown up in Willowbrook, and many of her fondest memories were tied to the school. Her own teachers had inspired her to follow in their footsteps, and now it was her turn to inspire the next generation. With a heart full of ambition and a mind eager to make a difference, Eliza stood in front of the mirror, adjusting her glasses and smoothing out the wrinkles in her dress. "Today is the day," she whispered to herself. "I'm going to make an impact." She grabbed her bag, which was packed with lesson plans, textbooks, and a few homemade cookies to share with the class. Her nerves were a little fluttery, but she was ready. She was determined to give her best to her students. Chapter 2. The first day. The classrooms were bustling with energy as students chatted excitedly about their summer vacations and what the new school year would bring. When Eliza entered the classroom, the room fell silent. All eyes turned to her, some curious, others skeptical. She smiled warmly, trying to hide her nervousness. "Good morning, everyone," she said, her voice steady. "My name is Miss Turner, and I will be your English teacher this year." There was a slight murmur in the class as students exchanged glances. Miss Turner was young, fresh out of university, and had no prior experience teaching. Some students wondered if she could handle the challenges ahead, while others were simply eager to see what she had in store. Eliza began her lesson by introducing herself. She spoke about her journey to becoming a teacher and how much she believed in the power of education. Her passion was evident, and little by little, the students warmed to her. She then began discussing the theme of the first unit, literature's ability to reflect the world around us. She encouraged the students to think critically about the stories they would read, and soon enough, a class was engaged. Chapter 3. The Challenge. As weeks passed, Eliza quickly realized that teaching was not as easy as it had seemed from the students' perspective. While she had an innate passion for the subject, keeping a room full of teenagers focused was a different story altogether. There were students who acted out, others who ignored her completely, and a few who simply did the bare minimum. But through it all, Eliza persevered. One student in particular stood out to her, Lucas. He was a troublemaker known for his sarcastic remarks and constant disruptions. At first, Eliza struggled to connect with him, but she knew she couldn't give up. Instead of scolding him every time he misbehaved, she began trying a different approach. She started speaking to him one-on-one after class, showing interest in his life outside of school. Slowly, she learned that Lucas had a deep passion for music, and this was something she could use to connect with him. One afternoon, after a particularly challenging class, Lucas stayed behind to talk. "Miss Turner, you're different," he said quietly. "You don't just yell at us when we mess up. You actually listen." Eliza smiled. I'm not here to yell, Lucas. I'm here to help you grow, just like I'm here to help everyone else in this class. From that moment on, Lucas's attitude towards school began to change. He became more focused and engaged in the lessons, and his behavior improved dramatically. Eliza felt proud knowing that she had helped make a difference in one student's life. Chapter 4. Building relationships. As the months passed, Eliza continued to build relationships with her students. She learned about their dreams, struggles, and everything in between. Each day she found herself growing as a teacher, becoming more adept at handling the unique challenges that came with the job. There was Sarah, a shy student who had a natural talent for writing but lacked the confidence to share her work. Eliza took the time to encourage her, providing constructive feedback and praising her for her creativity. Sarah eventually blossomed into one of the top writers in the class, and her newfound confidence inspired others. There was also Jason, a quiet student who seemed to always be daydreaming in the back of the room. Eliza discovered that Jason had a knack for drawing, and she encouraged him to incorporate art into his assignments. Soon, Jason's illustrations began to complement his essays, and his passion for both literature and art became evident. With each new connection, Eliza realized that teaching was more than just delivering lessons. It was about understanding the unique needs of each student and helping them grow in their own way. Chapter 5. The turning point. The school year moved forward, and by mid-semester, Eliza had truly found her rhythm. She had developed a classroom management strategy that worked for her students, and they respected her not just as a teacher, but as a person who genuinely cared for them. However, there was one challenge: that she hadn't anticipated a curriculum change. The school district had decided to adopt a new set of standards that required a shift in teaching methods. For Eliza, this meant overhauling much of the material she had already prepared. It was a daunting task, but she was determined to rise to the occasion. She spent countless hours revising her lesson plans, researching new teaching strategies, and collaborating with her colleagues. Despite the pressure, she found herself excited about the challenge. She knew that it would push her to become a better teacher. When the new curriculum was out, Eliza's class embraced it with enthusiasm. They were excited to dive into new texts and explore more advanced themes. Eliza felt a sense of pride as she watched her students engage with the material in ways they hadn't before. It was a turning point for both her and her students, a moment where they all grew stronger together. Chapter 6. The support system. As the year went on, Eliza found herself not only helping her students grow, but also being supported by her colleagues. One of her biggest mentors was Mr. Davis, the head of the English department. He was an experienced teacher who had seen it all and always had time for her when she needed advice or encouragement. "Eliza," Mr. Davis said one afternoon, "you're doing great work. You're making an impact, and that's what matters most. Keep going." His words filled her with confidence, reminding her that she wasn't alone on this journey. Her fellow teachers offered support and shared resources, making it clear that they were all working towards the same goal: helping students succeed. At home, Eliza found comfort in her family and friends. They understood the challenges of teaching and always encouraged her to keep pushing forward, even when things felt overwhelming. It was their unwavering support that helped Eliza stay grounded during the more difficult moments. Chapter 7. The end of the year. As the school year drew to a close, Eliza couldn't help but reflect on how much she had learned and how far she had come. The students she had once feared would never warm to her were now not only respectful but also grateful for everything she had done. They had grown in ways that even she hadn't expected. On the last day of school, the students gave Eliza a card filled with heartfelt messages. Some thanked her for believing in them, while others expressed how much they had enjoyed her class. Lucas, who had once been a troublemaker, gave her a handmade gift, a music album he had created. "I wrote a song about you," he said shyly. "You're the best teacher I've ever had." Tears welled up in Eliza's eyes as she hugged Lucas. "I'm so proud of you, Lucas. I'm proud of all of you." As the bell rang, signaling the end of the year, Eliza stood in front of her class one last time. She had made a difference in their lives just as they had made a difference in hers. And as she left the classroom that day, Eliza knew that she had found her true calling. Chapter 8. Reflections. Years passed and Eliza continued to teach at Willowbrook High. She encountered new challenges, new students, and new lessons to learn. But no matter how much time went by, she always remembered the first year, the year she truly became a teacher. As she sat in her classroom, reflecting on her journey, Eliza realized that teaching was never about the accolades or the recognition. It was about the moments that changed lives, the moments when a student finally understood a lesson, when they found their voice, when they learned to believe in themselves. Eliza Turner had become more than just a teacher. She had become a guide, a mentor, and a lifelong learner. And with each new day, she continued to inspire and be inspired by the students who entered her classroom. The end.